So, hello everyone. My name is WenHao. I'm from China and a master student in Shanghai Ocean University. So, I'm majoring in recreational fishery economy and angular behaviors such as we need to pay and consumer surplus. So, I got into this field about a year ago. So, today's academic report, I'd like to share some my current research finds. So today the topic of my academic is global disparities in the recreational economy, systematic review and imperial in coastal China. So my talk has two parts. The first part is a systematic review, and the next is an imperial study. So first, I will introduce the background of this review. So evidence from studies on participation, harvest levels, and social ecological dimensions indicate an imbalance in global recreational fisheries research. So high-income countries are relatively well developed and well studied. So whereas middle and low-income countries receive far less attention. So motivated by this heterogeneity in global recreational fishery research, I conducted the PRISMA study. So we use the PRISMA method and after regional screening, so we finally identified 124 papers, and this is a sensitive question. So here is our first main result. It can be seen that global research on the economies of recreational fisheries cabins on overall upward trend. Economic factors are the most frequently assessed, and the overlap between economies and behavior is the most fundamental. So finally, the five major themes. So economies, behavior, catch, ecological, and environment intersect in various combination collaborated, accounting for 78.8% of all overlap. So our second result highlights a strong geographic concentration. So the United States leads by a wide margin, and 35 European countries have published relevant studies, while most African countries have published little or none. So in terms of species, so bass is the most frequently studied. So appearing in nine studies. So bass, BASS, and Europe and the US also examine the greatest diversity of species, 11 and 10 respectively. So overall, this pattern suggests a clear geographic bias. So research is concentrated in high-income regions with limited attention to middle and low-income contexts. So that the global picture from the systematic review. Next, I will move to our field survey and imperial funding from coastal China. So now turning to China, an aging demographic trend and rapid growth as the world's second largest economy. So China has strong potential for recreational fishing markets. However, the sector remains underdeveloped compared with many high-income countries. So in this imperial study, I analyzed anglers willing to pay and apply cluster analysis to identify the distinct anglers types. Okay. These are our survey locations. So in collaboration with local government partners, we conducted more than 70 days of field work from May to July 2025. So focusing primarily on coastal city. Yeah. So here is how we collected the data step by step. So we first identified survey cities using ArcGIS POI data, and then selected specific fishing seeds through both online services, such as a map and Douyin, so it's a Chinese TikTok, and offline inquiries, including discussions with local angler and drivers. So based on hotspot intensity, we included cities with high, medium, and low probability to improve risk pre-sensitiveness from field experience. So common gathering place introduce river branches, so airs under bridges and waterland parks and estuaries. So in prelude, we distribute the questionnaire online through survey platforms. In total, we collected 253 offline responses and 745 online responses. So these are screenshots from the survey process. During data collection, we not only surveyed recreational anglers, but also held discussions with government officials and stakeholders from related business. Okay, so here I show summary statistics from for the sample. So including demographic features with we need to pay measures for our coastal survey. So since my research focuses on economies, so I applied cluster analysis and identified three distinct angular segments. So the first is high involvement experience-seeking anglers. The next is weekend-oriented light recreational anglers, and the end is traditional and regulation-averse anglers. So this table summarizes the basic features of the three angular groups. So next, I compare key continuous variables such as age and monthly income and monthly fishing frequency. So we can clearly see how the three groups differ. Okay. So after that, we designed a screener simulation in which we need to pay was specified across several price intervals to assess the captain's levels of the three angular groups at each threshold. So this can inform whether farmers' pricing stages and the government's potential pricing of fishing license. As you know, China now doesn't have a fishing license system, but the government is considering whether to introduce one. So the land chart shows the captain's rates of each angular groups across the different price levels. So, and I believe that this figure may also allow us to explore attention interesting patterns. So these segments provide a foundation for my upcoming papers. So if you have a suggestion or are interested in collaboration, I would be very happy to connect. So finally, I'd like to briefly introduce my CV and my PhD plans. So I expect to graduate in 2027, and I hope to pursue a PhD focusing on recreational fishery. So particularly economy and policy decisions. So because the field is still relatively under-responsive in China. So China has 1.4 billion people, but as you can see, only 2 Chinese researchers are here. So in China, fewer than 10 people study recreational fishery. And from recreational fishery economies, so I may be only one or two. So this is really a pity. So I would be grateful if anyone could share information about relevant PhD opportunity. So I'm also happy to share our survey questionnaire and my PhD with anyone who is interested in. So and okay, thank you everyone to organize it and for the opportunity, and thank you for your attention. I'm happy to answer questions. And finally, so I'd first like to apologize. So because I started English about last year, so my English comprehension is like that of a 1-year-old baby. So, but I will try my best to understand and answer your questions. So thank you, everyone.